have witnessed such pleasure, such pain. I must have more.
What? Fyodor? How is it that you...
More!
Please, go after that woman who did this to him!
More! 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 More!
Diablo 4 is good. Fantastic, even. I never really was one to try out betas before, early access or the like. I just happened to catch this while playing D2 and, on a whim, went for it. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun playing so far, even with some of the elements I wasn't expecting to. And I fear this might be a problem going forward, but more on that later. For now, the game feels great. Movement is snappy and crisp, combat impactful and visceral. The character development remains streamlined and straightforward, as in Diablo 3. Less of a positive for some. Myself, I've had a bad habit of trying to power game such aspects. Blizzard just wholesale removing this element, auto-giving you the ideal stat level up anyhow, removes a lot of the busy work for vets and guesswork for newcomers. I'd say overall that's a positive. The abilities, maybe less so. Looking at it, you really seem to be stuck in a predetermined path. It may seem to give you the ability to choose different things, but how well these will really synergize together, opening up gameplay options or character progression, it's probably going to be rather limited in this regard. Blizzard is really wanting to make sure you know their games have organic narrative now. It's rather stark coming in after D2. I think there's more dialogue and presentation in the first hour of 4 than all of 2. The characters would just dump a quick rundown on you and send you on your merry way. This worked very well. Diablo 3... I actually don't remember. Oh well. Diablo 4 takes a much more thematic approach to basically everything. The characters move about and actually do things on occasion. It makes the interactions with them more realistic and believable. The plot centers around the return of Sarah Kerrigan. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. That's not it. Let me do this again. Diablo 4's plot sees the return of Sylvanas Win... No, that's not right either. Damn. One more time. The story begins with the return of Lilith to Sanctuary, a fresh, original, wholly unique, and innovative, brand new character yet to be seen in a Blizzard game. Okay, honestly, the character does stand out from Diablo's previous big bads. She has a well done and interesting setup. It's the hallmarks of Blizzard's other female leads that are present, which is the problem. For some reason, Blizzard has to overcompensate, micromanage the plot around these characters that were already great in their own right and end up dropping the ball on their arc or narrative as a whole. It is much more interesting this time around, as the titular antagonist, whom I'm fairly certain is this dog thing you run into, has always had the plot revolve around him, even when it really didn't make any sense for it to, like in 3. The plot actually went out of its way to make sure Diablo was center stage at the end, even tying it back in with the first game like it was some 4D chess match that Blizzard was most certainly building towards. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, just likely not all it could have been. Still, what's been shown so far is solid. I want to learn more.
Blessed Mother, save us.
On the other side, we have Inarius, cast out Angel of Heaven. Inarius wants to get back into heaven. To do so, he needs to kill Lilith, or so he believes anyways. Lilith, on the other hand, has some grand Sylvanas tier plans in the making.
This key unlocks more than the doors of hell. It unlocks our path to the future.
Even says the future thing, huh. 4's story is a lot more involved than the other games before. In fact, there isn't really a good side to root for. Inarius and his cathedral initially, but it doesn't take long to see that these aren't exactly the nicest chaps you'd ever meet.
It was only an apple I stole. The father wouldn't want me to go hungry, would he?
And it only goes downhill from there.
Vigo, who did this?
Lilith is going around causing death and destruction, corrupting or killing whatever is in her way to get what she wants. Basically, the story of D4 is that Sanctuary is now stuck between a bitch and an asshole, having to deal with the fallout of their toxic relationship, and I'm all for that. Gameplay-wise, it's very reminiscent of Destiny 2. Instead of towns in one area and going from dungeon to dungeon in more or less a straight line, Diablo 4 now has one very large map with multiple smaller towns darted throughout which you go on from. There are constantly spawning mobs leveled to your character, events you can go in on with a specific task, killing some bigger enemy, stopping a ritual, saving a caravan or the like, and even lost sectors, effectively. They're a shortish dungeon run with loot at the end. You can run into other players out there and join in on the same events even if you're around or if they are. It's okay. It's not something I was jumping for, but the option is nice. As these games are being used more socially, I'm sure a good number of players will enjoy and get use out of this. There exists a number of side quests you can pick up that run through either the open areas or dungeons themselves. Then there are these bigger, more dangerous dungeons you can delve into. Just be careful. This guy again? Whatever, get over here. Damn, I'm not really hurting him at all. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, I've made a mistake. Get out. Get out, get out.
I'm not ready yet.
No, 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 no. Out, 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 out.
I am out of potions.
Combat has been crafted with a certain flow in mind. You always have to be moving. There's a dash ability which you will most certainly be making good use of, sometimes bridging the gap between you and a juicy target, most often evading enemies' attacks. There's a lot of telegraphed attacks, poses and particle effects you will need to keep an eye out for to know when to move. Some characters may be built to withstand more than others. None can withstand the full barrage, so you will need to disengage at some point. Playing into this is the new health pot system, that heal obviously, over the course of the battle. There is no cooldown, however. Instead, you have a specific capacity which can be carried at a time, which can be upgraded. Most often, drops will come during fights as mobs die. In bigger boss fights, there are phases where additional pots drop, keeping the flow going. It works. An attempt to make the health pot system more conducive to engaging combat. I wouldn't say it's the future for ARPGs, more rather it's how Diablo 4 does its own thing for them. All good, thus far. My concerns, however, are many and grave. ARPG-style games tend to be grindy by nature. This is no secret.
I must wait a moment.
Many of the additions to Diablo 4, however, are the next level, always online games as a service or whatever shenanigans. It's designed to always have something to do, which is okay on itself, yet it's a very fine line between having something you want to do versus something you feel you need to. This game has a lot of resources in it, primarily around crafting. Many of these are found just going about your business. Others, however, can only be earned through specific means, such as in-game events, activities that tend to be out of the way and have quite a bit of a time investment involved. There's even some player versus player resources, which is always fantastic, brutally forcing PvP in a game that's primarily designed for PvE. It's hard not to be somewhat aware of the shitstorm around Diablo Immortal that still is brewing kind of today. What's most important to take away from that was that the cash shop stuff came like a month after the release, before everyone saw how bad it was going to get, trapping a lot of hapless players within. I see a lot of the groundwork already laid within Diablo 4 to follow in Immortal's example. There's already game reasons to get players to log in for at least a little bit every day. Then there's the character achievements, masteries, things to keep you coming back, investing someone further and further in the game that may potentially be capitalized on for financial gains. And so I am concerned. You know, I did a video once, over Reforged, where I was wanting to take a neutral look at the remake, remaster, whatever that was supposed to be. Yet the optics of the whole situation eluded me at the time, so it came off more as going to bat for Blizzard. I read this article, and at the end had a moment of clarity. The takeaway from it is that these really just aren't games anymore. They're services, as they like to claim. Services that, to be frank, I just don't really see as worth it that much anymore. Not ones that you have to keep paying for it, like is expected of you at any rate. Others will disagree. Immortal is a testament to that. So be it, I guess. Gaming's heading towards an uncertain future, I fear. I don't know what it holds, but I will be watching. But thanks for listening to me. Have a good day.